get low, you can still go. Even when you feel slow, you can still go. Even when there's no hope, you can still go. I never answer to no, man, I still go. Go, 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 go.
Brian Giles with Brian Giles MTG. And we're back with more Outlaws of Thunder Junction Commander spoilers. So, starting our list off now is Leyline Dowser. 2 mana for an artifact that reads, tap it, pay 1, tap it, mill a card. You put an instant or sorcery card milled this way into your hand. Tap an untapped legendary creature you control, untap Leyline Dowser. So, hoo-ha. Then we have Lock and Load. For a blue and 2, you get a sorcery that reads, draw a card, then draw a card for each other instant or sorcery spell you cast this turn. You can plot it for a blue and 3. So, hoo-ha. Then we have Pyretic Charge. So, a red and 4 for a sorcery that reads, discard your hand, then draw 4 cards. For each card discarded this way, creatures you control get +1/+0 till end of turn, plot it for a red and 3. Okay. Creatures get a bonus for discarding cards from your hand, and you get to draw some more. Then we have Smoldering Stagecoach. A red and 3 for a star 5 artifact vehicle. When its power is equal to the number of instant sorcery cards in your graveyard. Again, this is the Spellslinger deck. Whenever Smoldering Stagecoach attacks, the next instant and the next sorcery spell you cast this turn each have Cascade. Ew. Crew it for 2. So this is a fun artifact, vehicle to have in your deck. Thunderclap Drake. So for a blue and 1, you get a 2/1 Drake with flying. Instant sorcery spells you cast cost 1 generic less to cast. Pay 2, blue and 2, sacrifice Thunderclap Drake. When you cast your next instant sorcery spell this turn, copy it for each time you cast your commander from the command zone this game. Okay, we've seen this kind of effect before on various other commander creatures, so that's fun to have. Next up, we have Felix 5 Boots. So a black, a green, and blue and 2 for a 5/4 legendary ooze rogue with menace and ward 2. The creature you control dealing combat damage to a player causes a trigger ability of a permanent you control to trigger. That ability triggers an additional time. So we're more trigger happy. We've got an ooze rogue. So more oozes. Hoo-ha. We have Arcane Heist. So I think these next cards are going to be slotted into the Gonti deck. It's all about stealing your opponent's stuff. So Arcane Heist is 2 blue and 2. Stupid ads. 2 blue and 2 for sorcerer reads. You may cast target instant or sorcery card from your opponent's graveyard without paying its mana cost. If that spell will be put into their graveyard, exile instead. Has Cipher. Again, you guys are going to have to clue me in on what that's all about, because I'm not familiar with that particular mechanic. I wasn't in the game at that time. Then we have Smirking Spelljacker for a blue and 4. You get a 3/3 Jin Wizard Rogue with Flash and Flying. Smirking Spelljacker enters the battlefield. Exile target spell an opponent controls. Whenever Smirking Spelljacker attacks, if a card is exiled with it, you may cast the exiled card without paying its mana cost. Ew! Steal your opponent's spell. This is what the Gonti deck is all about. It's about jacking your opponent's stuff and using it against them. Next up, we have Orochi Soul Reaver. So a beefy black and 5 for a 5/4 Snake Ninja Rogue with ninjutsu of a black and 3. Whenever one or more creatures you control deal combat damage to a player, create a treasure token and manifest the top card of that player's library. So you get to look at that. I know manifest means you get to look at the top card of their library. And you turn it face up. So again, you're knowing what they have and everything. Next up, we have Thieving Varmint. More varmints. A black and 1 for 2/1 Varmint with Death Touch and Lifelink. Tap it to pay 1 life. Add 2 mana of any one color. Spend this mana only to cast spells that you don't own. Okay, so yeah, he's a little guy that you use to cast your opponent's spells. Hoo-ha. Then we have Heartless Conscription. It's a beefy 2 black and 6 for a sorcery that reads, exile all creatures. For each card exiled this way, you may play that card for as long as it remains exiled. Mana of any type may be spent to cast this spell. Exile Heartless Conscription. Again, more jacking your board wipe and then jack all the stuff you just wiped. Yeah. Then we have Savvy Trader. So, black and green and 3 for a 3/3 human citizen. When it enters the battlefield, exile target permanent card from your graveyard. You may play that card for as long as it remains exiled. Spells you cast from anywhere other than your hand cost 1 generic less to cast. Then we have Tower Winder. So for a green and 1, you get a 1/1 snake with reach and death touch. When it enters the battlefield, search your library and or graveyard for a card named Command Tower, reveal it and put it into your hand. If you search your library this way, shuffle. Ooh, that's the first time we've seen a card that goes for your Command Tower. This thing in Commander is gonna be an absolute almost include for any deck that is playing green. Hoo-ha! So let's take a look down here at the bottom here. So the last deck is Olivia Opulent Outlaw, which is the red, white, black color. So we're probably going to be getting into cards that are going to be about that. So Dream Thief's Bandana is 2 mana for an artifact equipment. Whenever an equipped creature deals combat damage to a player, look at the top card of their library, exile it face down. For as long as it remains exiled, you may play it, and mana of any type you can be spent to cast that spell, equipped for 1. Okay. Then we have Vihan. It's the backup commander for the Olivia deck. Vihan Goldwaker. I'm sorry. It just makes me think about Tombstone, Sheriff Vihan. So he's a red, a white, and a black for a 3/3 legendary dwarf, a warlock. Other outlaws you control have vigilance and haste. Okay. Same combat on your turn. You have treasures you control become 3/3 construct assassin artifact creatures in addition to their other types till end of. Ew! Ooh! Ew! All your treasures become, well, the 3/3 construct assassins. And they have vigilance and haste. Ew. Angelic Sellsword. So a white and 4 for 4/4 angel mercenary with vigilance. Whenever Angelic Sellsword or another non-token creature enters the battlefield under your control, create a 1/1 red mercenary creature token with tap it. Target creature you control gets +1/+0 till end of turn. Activate only as a sorcery. Whenever Angelic Sellsword attacks, if its power is 6 or greater, draw a card. Okay, some card draw if it's bigger. Hoo-ha. We have Back to Town. So for a black 2 and X, you get a sorcery that reads, turn X target outlaw creature cards from your graveyard to the battlefield. Yes, the boys are back in town. Then we have Bounty Board, which is 3 mana for an artifact that reads, tap it to add a mana of any color, pay 1, tap it, put a bounty counter on target creature. Activate only as a sorcery. When a creature with a bounty counter on it dies, each of its controller's opponent draws a card and gains 2 life. Okay, this would fit well in an assassin deck. Hoo-ha-ha. We have Charred Grave Robber. So a black and 2 for a 3/1 skeleton mercenary. Or skeleton love. Charred Grave Robber enters the battlefield. Return target outlaw card from your graveyard to your hand. It has escape for 2 black and 3, and exile 4 other cards from your graveyard. Charred Grave Robber escapes with a +1/+1 counter on it. So it can come back as long as you pay the escape cost and exile 4 other cards, and it comes back with a +1/+1 counter on it. I could use that. We have Dead Before Sunrise, a red and 3 for an instant that reads, till end of turn, outlaw creatures you control get +1/+0 and gain tap it. This creature deals damage equal to its power to target creatures. Okay. Then we have discreet retreat. So for a black and 3, you have an enchantment aura. Enchant land. Enchanted land has tap it, add 2 mana of any one color. Spend this mana only to cast outlaw spells or activate abilities from outlaw sources. Whenever you cast your first outlaw spell each turn, draw a card and lose a life. Okay. I like that. Some fixing, some outlaw love. This is how the party mechanic was supposed to work. It works in harmony. That all these things work together, and there's spells built around that mechanic. Hoo-ha. We have Grey Water's Fixer. So a black, a red, and 2 for a 4/4 Lizard Mercenary. Each outlaw creature card in your graveyard has Encore X, where X is its mana value. This means you exile it and pay its Encore cost. For each opponent, create a token that attacks that opponent this turn of Fable. They gain haste and sacrifice them to the beginning of the next end step. Activate only as a sorcery. So, hoo-ha. And finally, we ride at dawn. A white and 2 for Enchantment of the Reeds. Legendary creature spells you cast have Convoke. So your other creatures can help pay for the mana or a generic to cast them. If your commander attacks, create a 1/1 red mercenary creature token that does the stuff of tap it. Target creature control gets +1/+0 till end of turn. Activate only as a sorcery. So this definitely would fit in your legendary decks and stuff like that. So hoo-ha! Lots of interesting cards here. These commander cards are definitely spicy and powerful, and they do the thing. They do, they're really focused on what their deck does, and I really like that. It's not just a bunch of random reprints that we think this will fit well in this deck. No, they actually built cards that actually are unique cards that fit into the deck, that are powerful and fit into the decks they're slotted into. But they also have powerful effects that can be used elsewhere. So I'm not unhappy with this. Now, me of being limited means, I won't be able to afford all this stuff, but I will definitely try to pick up as much as I can, because this stuff is definitely good, has uses, not only in the decks themselves, but elsewhere. So, hoo-ha, have a great day. We'll double check this just to see, and we'll double check this, And that's all the video we have for today. We'll see you on the next video.